Good evening, all. I welcome all of you who have joined for this webinar on the need for learning outside the curricula. So before we begin, let me give you a quick introduction about Higher Ed for All Private Limited. Okay, so Higher Ed for All, so we basically deal with educational counseling. So talking about our instructors, we are a group of educators. Okay, so some work in schools, some in colleges, and some with NGOs as well. So collectively, we have an experience of over 100 years. Okay, so and even uh, the resource person for today's event is also one of our team member. Okay, so I'm happy in that perspective. Okay, so these are the major skills, major services that we provide. So we are basically into education and career guidance. And along with that, we also provide soft skills training and we help candidates with profile building. We also help them to prepare for the interviews. And along with that, we also have certain foreign language courses as well. Okay, so these are our major services, and if you'd like to know more about uh, our services, you can definitely check our website. That's www.higheredforall.in. Okay, so having said that, I'd like to introduce today's speaker, uh, Professor Krishna P.V. Okay, so it's my great pleasure to introduce her. Uh, okay, so she is an assistant professor with unparalleled interpersonal and communication skills, which makes her an exceptional um, educator, actually. Okay, so she has completed her MA in English from Bangalore University, and she has also qualified NET in the year 2018. Okay, so she has a wonderful track record in academics, and at present she is a faculty at multiple online platforms. Okay, so she coaches students in literary, critical, and language acquisition programs. And along with that, as I said earlier, she is also an educational counselor at Higher Ed for All. Okay, so she works with a goal to change the traditional perceptions of making both educational and career decisions. Okay, so with all that, it is indeed an honor for us to have a personality with such a diverse background and impressive credentials. Ma'am, I welcome you, and it's over to you.
Thank you, sir. Let me take this opportunity to say my thanks to the platform Higher Ed for All. Actually, I'm very grateful for you to Higher Ed for All and also to Mr. Modi Joseph for having given me the opportunity for I could present my views. So thank you for that. So we'll move on to the session now. Shall I present the screen,
Sure.
sir? Hope it's visible.
Yes.
So before I begin the topic, that is the need for learning outside the curriculum, it would be easy for me to know whom I am going to address. So can the participants quickly tell me from which background you are from? Are you studying in college, school, or are you a professional? Can you quickly give me a small, idea about your background in the chat box? Because the audience that I have prepared this discussion is for it's mainly for the students, the learners who are in their college in the UG PG spectrums. Not only for them, it's not that the others are not going to benefit out of this discussion, but it is mainly focused upon them, and so it would be helpful for me to know about the background. That's why I'm asking it. Okay, so the messages are pouring in, so I'll move ahead. So this is a brief outline how I'm going to sketch this discussion, where I would be first giving you an introduction about curriculum, because it's very much important to know what curriculum is and what are the things that lies inside the curriculum. Only when we know about what's inside it, we can actually go beyond it. No, we can extend ourselves in learning outside the curriculum. So we'll start the discussion by talking about what curriculum is about. And we'll be discussing about the need to learn outside the curriculum. Why is there a need that we have to step outside the curriculum that have been given to us by our schools or colleges? Then how is the process, how will this process happen? That is, how will you go beyond the curriculum? And I would be discussing few of the ways through which you can extend yourself beyond the curriculum, learn extra, have other inputs, in have other ideas about other knowledge spectrums. And I will be giving you an idea about some of the online platforms that you could use to, expand your networks in terms of education, in terms of certification, in terms of knowledge expertise. And then we would be concluding it. So when we talk about curriculum, now this word is not, it has derived from a Latin word, which is pronounced as curere. Okay, that's pronunciation. Now this particular word in Latin, it means racing course. So curere refers to a runway in which you would run in order to get to a particular destination. So accordingly, when we look at the word curriculum in terms of our educational context, so curriculum in that particular context, it stands for all educational plans, all the instructional plans that the students are supposed to fulfill. Like there would be objectives, there would be values, there would be aspirations that is pointed on to the learner's life and goals. So these needs to be fulfilled through a plan, and we can, in a broader sense, we can define curriculum as such. When we come to the particular context of a school or a college, curriculum refers to the teachings, materials, the academic materials, that are covered in a school or that are covered in a particular course or program. These kind of things are referred to as curriculum, and these ranges uh, from the units and lessons that the teacher teaches you. It ranges to the assignments and projects that the students are supposed to do, the books, the materials, the videos, presentations, readings that are used in a course. It also stands to include the assessment progress, the various evaluation standards like the test and other methods that are used to evaluate the student learning progress. So the definition of curriculum is structured in such a manner that frequently it refers to the courses that a school offers, and it generally refers to the knowledge and abilities students are expected to learn in terms of the learning standards or in terms of the course objectives that is referred inside the curriculum itself. So in this manner, when we look at the term curriculum, it is actually used as a second name or a synonym for course of study, especially when we look at the traditional teaching method. In those contexts, curriculum stands where it is actually used to mean the course of study. And in those cases, it was accurate also because the main purpose of education in the traditional teaching methods was to aid students in memorizing the materials that were given to them. But it has changed a lot when we talk about the contemporary time. The idea of curriculum, it has got a broader perspective. It has got a cumulative perspective where it stands as a phrase that has an all-encompassing nature, where it includes all this curricular and extracurricular activities. So curriculum nowadays, it includes all the educational experiences that a learner goes through in his or her school, such as the experiences or the learning process that happens inside the classroom and also outside, like in laboratories, in the library, in the playground, inside the school building, and the educational tools, study tools that you get into, the interactions that you get into with your parents, with your peer groups, and also with the local community that is around the school. So when we look at the term curriculum, it has actually extended in a broader manner from being something that is to be structured inside a particular classroom to something that has extended to the school, the school building, and little beyond it. Okay, so it has actually broadened in its areas in terms where it is now more than just the textbooks and the subjects that are chosen for a certain class. So I'm not telling that curriculum or what you learn inside the college or what you learn inside the school is not enough for you. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the learners, especially who are in their college phase, they need there is a need for them to step beyond the curriculum, to step outside the focus that is given for the curriculum. Okay, so that is where we have to understand the need for what are the needs for learning outside the curriculum. Why is it that curriculum or the school structure or the subjects that are taught in the schools or colleges, even the extracurricular activities, the competitions that you get into inside the college, it is not enough in today's world, okay, to be a better competitor in the world. I'm not talking against the formal education in a person's, in an individual's life. Formal education is very important, but we also have to recognize the value of the knowledge that we are going to, as a learner, that we are going to get outside the educational institutions. So it is here that we have to focus upon different trajectories, different areas, different platforms that could give us this knowledge. So when we are going to learn skills outside the classroom, through the activities by engaging in various platforms outside the classroom or outside the curriculum, this becomes an essential component in the development of our personal self in terms of it actually provides us or takes us to a larger spectrum of knowledge. It enlarges our visions. We gain insights into new arenas which cannot be covered in the curriculum. So curriculum that includes all the extracurricular and co-curricular activities are also very limited when we look into it. So learners must have a bent of mind where they should themselves take a look into what are the experiences outside the classroom, outside the curriculum, which can prove vital to my education, to that particular person's education, and to that particular individual's growth to be a proficient citizen or to be a proficient giver in the society. So, the importance of this need for learning outside the curriculum comes through self-awareness. So, this is a very important skill or characteristics that any learner should have if he or she wants to go beyond their curriculum. So there is a need for self-awareness in all of us, and there is also a need to cultivate specialized talents if you want to make your stand, if you want to make your position in today's society. So when you take a step beyond the curriculum, when you step outside the curriculum and take learning beyond that particular those boundaries, one you are actually enhancing yourself in terms of your experiences. You're going to get into real world applications of ideas where you have this opportunity to gain immense knowledge and perspectives. There is no limitation for the knowledge that you're going to get in the outside world, outside the curriculum. So this actually will impact your personal growth and also your professional growth. Because what are you doing when you step outside the curriculum? You are exploring new learning avenues. You are actually expanding your own knowledge base. You are actually learning inside your curriculum. You might be learning a particular subject. There might be one or two complementary subjects which you can choose, but there is also a limitation. You are supposed to choose one per semester. There are extracurricular activities, there are co-curricular activities which would help you, gain a lot of social skills. But there are also limitations in that because you are only participating in those kind of competitions are there once in an academic year or once in a semester or once in a month. So those are limited in nature. But when you step outside this curriculum, when you are learning outside the limitations, boundaries of this curriculum, you're going to explore a lot of learning avenues. You're going to expand your knowledge base. You also experience different perspectives and see alternative solutions. So, there are points in our there are phases in our curriculum, in the structure of the curriculum, that students are supposed to think in this manner. When you are talking about science subjects, there is a particular way in which you are supposed to think. You can be innovative, but there is a route that you have to follow. In literature, there you explore different perspectives, but there is also limitation in that because you are only going to deal with very few text. Literature includes, the books, the journals. There are a whole variety of that, but you are only going to look into very minute, minute number of text in the course that you are studying. So when you go beyond curriculum, you're going to connect with other fields. You're going to have opportunity to grow beyond your own boundaries that have been set by the curriculum. You're going to explore newer areas. You're going to explore new talents that might have been hidden in yourself, being unknown to us. So this is why I tell you that there is a need for learning outside curriculum in order to cater your skill, in order to cater your interest, for your personal and professional development, to experience practical knowledge in the real world, to be self aware of the talents that you're going to have, to discover, to identify different perspectives and alternative solutions, and to get opportunities and grow beyond the settings of your classroom. Now, if you ask me in particular, ma'am, like what are the skills that you are going to that we are going to gather, that we are going to get if we go beyond the curriculum? So I would say that these are few of the skills that you would get if you go beyond the curriculum. At the same time, I would like to tell you that these are skills that you would develop inside the curriculum as well. The social skills, self-worth, worldview, independence and responsibility, knowledge, these are skills that you're going to develop in your school or college life when you're inside the curriculum. I'm not saying that you will only get these skills if you step beyond the curriculum. No, nothing like that. You're going to have all these skills, but in a minimized way. The social skills that you are going to develop would be limited to your classroom settings or limited to the intercollegiate fest that are going to held up by the college. Self-worth that you're going to develop in yourself is limited to how you're participating, how you're performing inside the school, inside the classroom. The worldview also would be in a limitation to what have been given to you or what have been presented to you by the teacher or by the other fellow, your peer group. Independence and responsibility, I'm not very sure that you would acquire it because I don't know whether a huge change has happened from when I was studying to now. But when I was studying in my school days or in my college days, we were constantly pushed. We had deadlines to meet. At the end of each semester, there would be deadlines. So it was not that I have done all my assignments or all my projects because I was so responsible. No, nothing like that. So there is a limitation in the skill in these kind of skills. So when I talk about knowledge also, you know, the knowledge that I gained when I was, when I talk about only my school days or college days, was in particular in reference to the subject that I was learning. Okay, outside that, if I wanted to learn something new, I had to, grab the opportunity of by looking into various other streams beyond the curriculum. Okay, so now when I look at these skills from a perspective which I have grown by going beyond the classroom facilities, or by going beyond outside the curriculum, I would say that social skills are the first kind of it actually predominates all other qualities or all other skills, because you learn to interact with new people. You learn to interact with new platforms. In new platforms, you're going to put yourself out there. That is a important skill that you have to develop when you take yourself outside the curriculum. When we step outside our devised curriculum boundaries, we are also teaching ourselves as to how to connect and present ourselves in schools or in colleges as well. To a certain limit, I think we are programmed, or we are taught how should we present in a speech, how should we go for a presentation. There would be supports, but when you step outside the curriculum, you're going to connect and present yourself, not only in front of others. You're going to present yourself, and you're going to set new higher goals for yourself. So that is one of the important skill that you're going to gather. Second is a continuation to that. You're going to know your own worth. Inside the curriculum, you might be pushed, you might be under pressure, and you might be performing quite good. But when you step outside, okay, when you step outside the curriculum, you are going to take the decision. It's you who is going to choose the course that you're going to study, or choose the part-time internship that you're going to work with. So in order to select that, in order to make that particular decision, you have to understand your own self worth, and it comes through time and experience. It requires a lot of confidence in oneself in order to understand what my plus and minuses are. I have to, completely embrace myself, and only then I would know that, okay, I'm weak in these areas. These are the areas that I have to improve, and how can I improve it? By joining for a particular course, or by taking up listening to motivational speeches. So when only when you step outside the curriculum, you be able to develop these kinds of insights. The third would be worldview. Worldview is where you're going to perceive the world. You're going to look at the world from your perspectives. You're going to understand your fellow beings perspective as well. So, stepping outside the curriculum provides you with a unique and diverse environment. You're going to be in a real life situation. You're not going to be inside a particular college or school which follows a particular. There are rules and regulations that each school and college follow, and they stick to that particular worldview. You're not supposed to think anything beyond that. You're not supposed to be radicalist or reformist. But when you step outside and you choose your own career, you choose your own curriculum, you are, setting up new worldviews. You're going to meet a lot of learners. You're going to meet faculty, specialists who are coming from all over the world, and these people are going to have different experiences. So you are actually giving yourself onto these people's views, these people's perspectives and experiences, and that is really going to give you a different sensation, and it is really eye opening in that manner. Now with all this comes a sense of independence and responsibility. in schools or in your college life, there is one person who would be constantly behind you at some point of time. At least in college, the teacher might not be behind you for the whole semester, but at the end of the semester, through the exams, they would tell you this exam you have to pass, or this assignment you have to keep. There is a deadline. But when you take, a career or a course beyond the curriculum, there's no one to tell you what to do and when to do it. You can control your own schedule, and you are the one who decide how should I complete this work, when should I do this work. So this actually brings in a newfound independence, which could be overwhelming in at the first time, but it is also very important to have this kind of freedom in oneself in taking one's own decision, because you're growing as a full-fledged adult now. With independence comes responsibility. Okay, so you will learn to be more responsible when you are taking your own decision. You need to learn how to balance your school work, your college work, your relationships, your fun time, your leisure time, and the career in which, or the course in which you're going to put yourself. In the real world, it's where no one is going to tell you what to do. The same thing happens when you go beyond the curriculum. You are supposed to prioritize what comes first, which course to choose, which is my interest area. How long should I pursue this course? How well should I pursue this course? All the control buttons are in your hand, and it is you have to make sure that you make most of it. And lastly, and the best thing is knowledge. You're going to gain immense knowledge. The knowledge that is available right now in our world through different means is so huge. So there is a need for you to take a responsible decision in understanding what is the kind of area that I'm interested in, where should I pursue my career, how is it going to benefit with my the profession that I'm going to choose, or how is it going to benefit the life I'm going to lead. So all this depends upon the various kind of knowledge, expertise field that are available to you uh, in uh, when you go beyond the curriculum. Okay. So now I have told you that you have to go beyond the curriculum. You have to step outside the classroom. You have to break the boundaries. You have to choose courses and everything I've told you. Now I'll tell you how you can do it. Okay. So it might be difficult for some people, to take up courses in the beginning itself, especially when they have been scheduled, they have been programmed to the schedule of curriculum. Suddenly, if I'm asking them that you have to go beyond the curriculum and develop your interest, that won't be possible for them. To get into a full-time online course, to take up internships, or to take up webinar or conference, that might not be, possible for them in the beginning. So what we will do is we will start with baby steps. Okay, so first thing that you have to find is that you will have to get an idea about, uh, you know, uh, what are your interest area, and how would you get an idea about your interest area? How would you cultivate more knowledge? Get more lessons into the area that is interesting you. So the first means would be podcast. Okay. Now, podcast, educates you on a wide range of subjects, and these are actually a very, that you these means you can actually use in your comfort zone when you are traveling, when you're exercising, when you're simply relaxing. Just play on a particular podcast. I'm not not listen to it, it would be a waste of your doing your graduation. So there would be a career objective that is there in your life. You might have certain interest. There might be a subject in which you are majoring. Okay. So you are supposed to search for these kind of topics which are similar to that, which are similar to your interest areas. And trust me, you will get a whole variety of topics here. And the normal length of a podcast is 10 minutes to an hour or longer. And you can actually listen to these things in any devices, including the mobile phones that you have, the laptops, anyway. And these actually will spark your interest on a particular subject. For example, I'm a person who's I'm majoring I'm done my major in English literature, language and literature, but I'm also a person who is interested in psychology. So it is quite difficult for me to do a major in psychology. So what I'm doing right now is I'm listening to different podcasts. I'm gathering new knowledge about it. Okay. And I've given you a list of a few podcast apps that you could use: Google Podcast, Apple, Spotify, Pocket Cast, TuneIn. Just get into it. There might be subscription charges, but even without the charges, you can listen to a lot of topics on that. The second one is YouTube. Now, YouTube has been, I'm pretty much sure that you are all of you might be aware of YouTube channels. You might be watching films, you might be listening to music, you might be even your classes during the pandemic time. Even your classes could have been, presented would have been presented through different YouTube channels. So if this particular channel is used in a productive manner, it will give you immense knowledge. Trust me. But what is important here is filtering. I told you that you're going to, develop the skill of being independent as well as responsible. Okay, so this skill you have to use here. So filtering is very important regardless of which, learning space you choose, because the outside world, it is actually bringing with knowledge. You have immense knowledge. Okay. Oh, there is all kinds of knowledge. Some have the power to make you, and some do have the power to break you as well. So, if you are interested in a particular topic and you don't have the time to go, study it as a course, you don't want a certification, but you're just interested in acquiring more knowledge about a particular thing, then YouTube channels are a must-go place. Okay, should be used by you. And these are a few channels that you could actually use. Vsauce. Vsauce is a platform where you get amazing answers to the questions about the whole world. Okay. Now, this one, along with Mind Minute Earth and Braincraft, it is actually related to the science field. When it tells you, it actually tells you about the planet and all those things in a story like manner. Science and story, when it goes hand in hand, it becomes very interesting. Now, Computer File is another channel where, if you are a techie, if you are interested in computing and technical videos, you could visit this particular channel. Now, if you are interested in psychology or neuroscience, Braincraft would be a good choice for you. If you are a philosophical person and you are doing your, you want to develop your philosophical bent of mind, you can go and visit the channel, The School of Life. It deals with the ideas, about life, and it gives you a lot of perspectives as well. Now, TED Talks and TED Ed are, I think, you might have heard about it, because when I talked about TED Talks, they are actually creating contents, videos that are very influential, and you have speakers, expert speakers from a wide variety of subjects, ranging from education, business, science, creativity, and there is also availability of subtitles in 100 and plus languages in TED Talk. So you can listen to that in order to have a broader perspective. You can also subscribe to TED which is more into educational kind of subjects. It is a great resource that the school kids could use, because the subjects that we teach at school is presented in a very inspiring and fun manner. Okay, so these are a few YouTube channels that you could visit if you're interested in, improving your knowledge or understanding. Actually, podcast and YouTube channels, you can just go and visit these things and typing any subject of your interest. From there, when you start listening to these, when you start listening to the podcast or when you start listening to the YouTube videos, something would click in your mind. Okay, this is the field that I have to give more focus. This is the field that has captured my interest. From there you can actually take it forward. A particular topic that you have listened in the podcast, a particular video that you have watched in YouTube. Okay, that particular topic would have inspired you so much. If it has inspired you, then go and present a webinar on it. Go and present a conference, participate in conferences. Because webinars and conferences are spaces where professionals gather together. These spaces actually help you to expand your network. Not only your network, it also gives you an opportunity to meet with experts of the field, to connect with educators in under different sectors. It gives you an opportunity to learn from these professionals outside the colleges. Okay, you can, as I told you, if a particular topic had inspired you, you can submit a paper or a presentation proposal on it and present at some conferences. From there you will pick up the skills like proposal writing. You will be before going to a presentation, before presenting, you would need to learn skills like how to write a proposal, how to present the presentation design, how should it be. You have to have skills on public speaking in a professional setting. These are the skills that you're going to gain. I understand stage fright is one of the most common thing that all of us would have. But until you take your first step, how would you know that you are capable of running? Okay. So if possible, you can actually use the topics that is inside your curriculum to go beyond it. You can take contacts from the professors. You can, nowadays, the uh, positive thing about pandemic is that the online mediums have grown in numerous ways. So you get a chance to attend webinars like this. Conferences are also held in hybrid modes. So when you get a chance, use the opportunity. If you are fearful to present, just go and meet, be the participant for the first time. Go to different conferences that is happening outside your schools or college networks. Go and attend those things. Slowly you will also gain the confidence to be a presenter. Okay, so that's one thing that I would suggest to you as a higher step after getting involved with all those podcasts and YouTube channels. Now, the next important thing as to how you can go beyond the curriculum is by doing internship programs and also through part-time jobs. Okay, I think most of the colleges nowadays have made internship as a part of their curriculum as well. Uh, the if I want to define it as a limitation, I would say that there is a choice of subject that you have to follow when you are, sometimes there might be a choice of subjects that is given to you. Okay. So when you get a chance, or when it is, even if it is not mandatory in your curriculum to do internship programs, if you get a chance to do that, please accept it. I'm not telling you, see, these programs or the part-time job offers that you get, don't calculate it on the basis of what you're going to earn in terms of financial rewards. Calculate it in terms of what you're going to learn, in terms of the development that you're going to have in terms of the knowledge that you're going to have, the experience, you're going to have a real life scenario. You're anyway you are going to, as a researcher or as an educationalist or as a business person, professionalist, you're going to work one day or the other, or you might be uh, going to start up your own networks. So these internship programs and the part-time jobs that you're going to get involved in during your curriculum phase itself, during your college day itself, is going to help you boost your confidence. Okay, you can take up, if you're not able to take up these jobs or internship programs parallelly with your course, you can utilize your break time. I'm sure that semester breaks would be there, summer breaks would be there. Try to utilize these times for uh, improving yourself, to develop yourself. Because why I'm telling you is that prior to graduating, it's very important for all the learners to have some work experience. Okay, have some idea, because it actually is highlighted in your resume as well. So in this manner, if you are actually getting a taste of what the real life work atmosphere is going to be. Okay, you can actually include these professional experiences, internship, part-time projects that you have, part-time works that you have done in your resume. So additionally, how it helps is that you are going to have a good network of people around you. Networking is very important tool if you want to connect with each other, not only in terms of success, in terms of monetary benefits, but also as a society, you need to connect with people. Okay, so networking is an important thing that you can accumulate right from your college days. Okay, so you are having a real life experiences when we talk about these things. And online courses are a good way in order to have a full-fledged idea about a particular topic that you want to study about. Okay, so I've made it into another slide itself. Many students are nowadays, or not only students, actually working professionals as well, uh, the students of schools also, they are actually, turning to online courses. There are MOOCs available, that is massive open online courses, which are actually most of these courses under MOOC is effective and flexible. You know, it actually gives you an idea about the new knowledge. You can, earn a certificate. You can choose your career paths. You can explore new area of interest. So there are so many platforms. There are n number of platforms that are available today, which are offering online courses. No, it actually takes a lot of work to know which one is good for you, which worth for your time and money. So I have listed very few among these online portals here in this particular slide. The first one would be Swayam. Now, why I have put Swayam in the beginning itself? Because it is actually one of the platforms that our Indian government has initiated. And the second thing is it's you know fully free. You can earn a particular certificate in a particular course, which actually the subjects actually range from high school levels to till higher education, and it also includes skills based upon courses. That benefits even ICT as well. Okay. So, and the certificates are also free. You don't need to pay anything under this particular scheme. So this can be actually titled as the world's, biggest MOOC platforms. It's an integrated platform. So, at some point of time, why most of the students might not choose online mediums, online courses, are because of the cost that they have to pay in order to get the certificates. They have to pay their tuition fees plus extra. In that kind of matter, you can always choose Swayam. The next one would be Future Learn. This is actually a UK-based online learning platform where this platform is offering online degrees, professional certification programs are also there. So this particular organization is based on the values of social learning, empowerment, transformation, and experimentation. So you get access to a whole catalog of courses from top universities, global companies, and professional organizations. One thing that I have, it might be difficult for some of us is that you need to complete 90 percentage of the course and you have to gain up to 70%, I think 70% of marks, only then you will be getting a certificate. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to note. The other one is Coursera. So Coursera is a comprehensive online education platform where you will find around 275 universities and organizations around the world offering you different kinds of, courses ranging from different platforms, okay, different subject areas. So it also covers full degree programs, also certification programs of 6 months period is also there, master degree is also there, okay, and these are all offered through the certification is done by prestigious universities. Now, you know, being I myself am a person who has done a lot of courses under Coursera. So one thing that I would tell you is that the certification is not free until you have a particular institution who has purchased the membership. And if you are individually doing that, you can study free. Okay, you can do the courses for free. But if you want a certificate, you will have to pay for that. Another important, one of the online platform is Udacity. So this is also an online learning platform. This offers both. Okay, there are free courses as well as paid courses. So it actually is based upon subjects like programming, product design, data science. Okay, so it's more related to the management and software development. Then Udemy is there. Now this is also deals with subjects that are business courses. Okay. Now the price of the certification is quite reasonable. That's what I have done. It. You can also they also give you shareable certificates if it's completed. Then LinkedIn Learning. This is best if you are interested in creative courses. Okay, this is an American online learning platform, and the subjects that are covered under LinkedIn revolves around business, creativity, technology, and other kinds of certification. Okay. So these are few of the online platforms that I would really suggest you to go through. At least please go through it. If you are a beginner into, you're just beginning to step outside the curriculum, I won't ask you to go into these online platforms, but I would really suggest you to go through the podcast, through the YouTube channels that I have referred. There are much more contents available. Okay, just begin your baby steps with that, and after step by step you can improve yourself and you can take up an extra course. These kind of courses, it gives you knowledge. You get expert. You are categorized as an expert in this particular field, whichever interest area you have chosen after doing a certification under these kind of online platforms. So with that, actually, I come to a conclusion. So, the biggest thing that we have to keep in mind when we go beyond our curriculum, step outside the curriculum, is that we have to be aware of the changes that is happening in our society, that is happening in terms of technology and all those things. So we have to update ourselves within the industry in which we have chosen for us. Okay, so that you can be, it actually helps you to keep you ahead of the curve. So what you have to do is you will have to, proactively seek for new information. No one is going to come and give you the books. In colleges or schools, the syllabus, because the syllabus is prescribed, you might be told refer this book, or references might be given to you, or the teachers would actually guide you. Here, when you step outside the curriculum, you have to seek your own information. And you will also have to make sure that you stay on top of the trends. The global world is changing every second, so you will have to stay on top of trends. You will have to update yourself. If you don't update yourself, we cannot. It's a very competitive world that we are in. Okay, so you will have to update yourself, stay on top of all the trends that are coming in terms of your interest area. Only then you will be able to put yourself up in front of your career. So when you do an extra course in addition to the curriculum that you are studying, it can be a great way to refresh the skills that you might need for your future job. Okay, or when you are learning a new skill, it actually advances you, or it makes you, grow in terms of the career that you're going to choose one day. So you can choose online and mediums, you can choose part-time training or educational courses. It's your choice. The way is your choice, but you will have to keep working for it. You will have to keep studying. You will have to take your own decisions. You will have to be responsible for your own decisions. Okay, so you will have to, how to begin this. You will have to first consider about the options that are in front of you. You could explore the courses, you could ask people, you can grow your network, okay, related to your industry. And then uh, you will have to develop your soft skills. There are n number of programs, there are podcasts that are available, there are YouTube channels available, to develop our soft skills also. Yeah. All the different kinds of skills that you need in terms of the course that you're doing, the business that you're going to start one day, the IT field that you're going to get into one day. In every field, there are lots of skills that are getting upgraded, that are available for you. Only what you need to do is just step outside your curriculum and have a look at what are the things that is happening. And this learning process, okay, when you complete your school life, when you complete your college life, your learning process comes to an end in terms of that particular curriculum. It ends there. I don't know why I studied maths, because other than a few calculations, basic calculation, I'm not using it. Because I have been majored in English literature. I have been studying English language and literature for a long period now. So I have closed that particular curriculum, that particular subject. Most part of it has been closed for me. Okay, so but this thing that I have taken up now, the in terms of language literature, in terms of soft skill, in terms of counseling, in terms of career guidance, in terms of psychology, all these things are a part of my learning career now. It's a lifelong learning process that I have indulged myself in. Now I think most of my colleagues would also agree with it. Now this actually, when you get into such kind of things, it makes you more enlightened. You're getting new perspective, you're getting new knowledge day by day. Okay, so and one of the important thing about this particular learning process is that it's a self-directed learning. I told you in the beginning itself, you are independent. Okay, you are independent as well. You are the only person who's responsible for your decisions. And you know make a note to stay in current with the latest trends. That's the most important decision that you have to make, because everything in life is a decision. Okay, we make decisions and choices all the time, starting from the moment we get out of the bed in the morning, and how to continue the uh, till the end of the day when you go to sleep, at what time. Even coming to this particular webinar was a decision that you have taken. Hope it benefits you. That's the wish that I have. So you are actually, we are all frequently characterized by the decisions that we make, the choices that we make, whether it be in our personal life or in our professional life. So what happens that some people, they are afraid, frightened to take up this freedom, this responsibility that comes with decision making. They are frightened to think out of the box. Now, some of you might be thinking that I have a lot to study inside the curriculum as it is. Okay, why should I go beyond that? You might be thinking about it, but you have to understand that only when you explore yourself, only when you make start a new page in your life, then success would be you would be actually getting closer to your success. If you stay inside the curriculum, if you're just learning what has been taught and you leave it there, in today's world, I doubt that you could survive, or you could be, I mean, you could survive actually, but you might not be able to reach the level of success that you might be capable of. You might be underestimating you. So you we all should be decisive in that in this manner, and we all should have talent to for making considered judgments at the right time. Only then we would be able to grow beyond, get beyond the boundaries that we have set ourselves in. So with this, I come to a conclusion, and I'm hoping that this particular, inputs that I have pointed out to you benefits you. So if you have any queries to ask, or if you want to give any feedbacks or tell me about your experience, you might be doing, you might be individuals who have already come out of the curriculum. You might be ones who would be studying beyond the curriculum. So if you are ready to share your experience also, that would be great.
Yes, dear participants, if you have any questions, you can post it on the chat or you can directly ask her as well. Feel free to post your questions on the chat. Yes, Manish sir, this is open for interactions. You can definitely discuss.
Yes, this is just addressed to ma'am.
Yes.
The thing is, I myself is I'm dealing with school children. We have a school, and the biggest problem we face is that if we talk about like the town students or the students coming from big towns and things like that, things seem a bit different. I'll just like to say I am from North India. So in Delhi, I see people are more aware. Students know a lot about what's happening. But from my native place where I come from, if I interact with 100 students, so there might be only 5 or 7 who are really clear what they want to do and how they want to do it. And there would be other 5, 6, 7, 8% who would say that they think they want to do it. Maximum are the students like who just either see that okay, someone got a job, someone did this, he is earning well, so let me go into that. So it's like sheep following a sheep. It seems like that. So my query to ma'am is, or anyone who can address it, is that we don't find that much of the students who are really doing a research or well aware and stuff like that. The thing is, most of the people are looking into each other and seeing that, okay, he is doing that, he is doing fine, so maybe let me also pursue it, or maybe I can also do great in it. So in the end, the story comes to like there's a saying, you follow a blind man and both of you are going to fall in a ditch. So that is at times with what takes place with a lot of people. And I have practically seen this happen with quite a few students who started with something. At that time, it seemed very lucrative, very promising. And even a lot of institutions also misguide you. Like you go to, I won't take names here, but if you go to those institutes, they'll tell you once you get out, you have a 50,000 job immediately, you have a lakh rupees job immediately, and stuff like that. And you feel that it would happen. And the criteria for success these days is if you are making good money, you are successful. That is a simple thing. So to you, it is that, okay, if I do it, I'm fine. So how do we judge it, and how is it possible that we can make students more aware that how they can choose a program which is going to be effective by the time they leave it also? Because any degree program or a other program can take a couple of years or maybe at least a year to finish, and after finishing, to master that, you again need some bit of time. And by the time you come to know that, oh, it's not relevant anymore, maybe something more new has come up. So this is a race which is, a ma'am was also mentioning that it is changing very fast. So there are students who keep up with it, I don't question that, but there are a lot of students who are not able to cope up in that race. So can we do something where we can have experts telling them that how we should do it, and how in future we would be able to make a better choice if we are making a choice right now? So that was
I,
my question. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, I get your question, sir, and I also get your worry that you have for your learners. I think the best platform to address these kind of issues is none other than Higher Ed for All, because the platform of Higher Ed for All is actually a counseling center. It's actually a career guidance center which would help students, I think, right from the school days itself, in order to pick up what their talents are, what their merits are, and the platform of ours itself, it would actually diagnose the students' merits and demerits, and would be able to counsel the students on to which path they choose. So I think we should have a session at your school where I think Modi sir would be should be a speaker, where he would be addressing all these issues. And you know uh, we as teachers sometimes we also have to step beyond our role as not merely as teachers, but we also have to take up the roles of being a counselor, a career guidance expert. Most of the time we will have to understand, when we are especially teaching a kid for more than 1 or 2 years, we would be understanding that how much the kid is capable of, how much he or she would be good enough at the subject, or at the future plan that he or she has. So we, as not only as teachers but as a good mentor, we should be able to look into those merits and demerits of the child, and we should actually engage in a counseling session, not only with the child but also with his parents, his or her parents, and guide them that these are your merits, these are the merits that you're these are the things that you're good at. Are you interested in it? Would you like to pursue it? If you like to pursue it, these are the ways that you have to take it up. So there is a little bit extra homework that we ourselves would have to do if we have to take up teaching to a next level, where we are also assuring that our children are not just blind sheep, but each uh, child, each learner can be get a unique platform of his or her own. So there is a hard work that we will have to put, every teacher has to put on himself or herself. Hope I
Thanks.
answered this.
Thanks for your advice. As you said, if you want to visit my school anytime, you're more than welcome. I'll arrange everything for you if you want to do that anytime. Please keep me posted. But I would request the whole team that even if we can arrange live sessions, like where uh, interaction can, because going to every place, I don't think so is practically possible. And with the global phenomena, now distance is not that big a issue anymore. So as I feel, today's webinar was very nice, very it was very nice to know a lot of things about curriculum and all that. But my, as a teacher, as a person running a school, the only problem I see is we know. As a teacher, we know what a student is capable of. Even when they come and lie to you that they were doing something at home or they have not done something at home, you know. And today, just I was taking an online class, so I said, okay, I named the student and told everyone that she would have done it. So, and she replied, yes, sir, I did it. I said, we know what you are capable of and what you can do. But the uh, pressure I feel is that, number one, parents are not that aware everywhere. A lot of parents are, I would not argue, but still, I believe that amount is less. And we have more amount of unaware parents who really don't know what their kids have to do. And ultimately, we end up chasing something which we feel is going to be very effective, but somehow we don't get there. So, my just as a suggestion, I can suggest to the team that if we become more interactive and if we can help more students in knowing what is the right way, so it won't happen immediately, but I think in you can say 1, 2, or 3 years, this will make a strong impact, and people will start getting connected to our methodology and to the trait what we want to do. And our platform can be successful in that way. That is what my feeling is, because everyone is telling you do this, do that, this is happening. Even if you go to YouTube, you have plenty of suggestions. But when you look into it, at times it happens you are confused yourself that what you really should be doing. So when you reach that college level, after college level, maybe you are a bit more aware. But I have seen students taking particular subjects, like I have seen students taking leaving arts. They would not take arts or humanities, as we call it. They would not take it because it is considered an inferior subject, and people think they might not be able to do much in it. But if you go into that, you'll come to know maybe it has more fields than science if you have your interest. So, in today's world, every field has a massive scope. The only problem is, do we know it and are we ready for it? So, uh, the only thing I can suggest is if we can start making those kids aware right from, I would say it should be like class seventh, eighth. That's what I think. That since then that awareness should start. So somehow they can make up their mind when they get in college, and also they will be successful after college also because they already know which stream they are following. That is my suggestion. And as I said, if you want to interact with my school kids or anything, I'll be more than happy anytime. So thanks for the wonderful session. And this is what I think should uh, work for us at least. I don't know about other people, but for the students I've been teaching, my area, mm, that whole belt. I'm basically from Himachal Pradesh, so Himachal Pradesh is there are belts. Like if you go to Manali, Kullu, you will find very less educated people. Educated in the scene, in the mean, I don't know that illiterate. Educated, I mean taking a career option or something. They are more into business and things like that. Area like Mandi, Hamirpur, Kangra, they are more into army. They don't choose anything, they just want to go into army. So it is divided in pockets that way. Slowly the barriers are breaking, but still at a lot of areas, there's no exposure. Even I know students at a reputed like Delhi Public School. Uh, their students who are studying there, at times they have asked me that we don't know what to do after this. So it is not that schools are not trying. They have a counselor, they have other things, but how far that works is a question. And even like I am running a school, so even my knowledge, I am basically a engineer by profession, but my knowledge to today's IT is becoming slowly limited, because what we did, what we were doing, if we don't stay in the same field, you are outdated very quickly. So that is something which worries me for my students, that once they reach class 12th or they want to go further, what do I tell them? So it would be a great help if we can focus in this particular direction. And if we get some good inputs, I believe it would be really making a few lives better, or making at least a difference. So thanks for the time today.
Thank you, sir. Those concerns were really genuine, and we'll make sure that in the coming sessions of the higher ed for all, will be surely addressing these concerns as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, sir, for the question, and thank you, Professor Krishna, for answering that. And we have one more question from Tejas.
Okay.
Okay, so he says, as you were saying that we must adapt to the technology, how do you consider the new technology like artificial intelligence and chat GPT mediums for the students? Even there are few bots which gives us everything we need without any efforts. Do you think it's good for students to rely over these platforms to perform the task?
Well, I personally had used Chat GPT, and I might continue to use it also. But those are moments where when I'm really passive. Okay, so I think in one of the slides I have told you that technology, I mean, it has both sides. It can actually make you as well as break you. Now, these kind of artificial intelligence, I think it's not you can use it at certain levels, but you cannot get addicted to it for everything, because these are platforms which actually makes you passive learners, not even learners. It's actually making you blindly copy whatever questions that you ask in regards of any information, or in regards of any assignments, or in terms of any ideas that you want to get. You're just typing in the question. You're not doing any research. You're not doing any kind of reading on that material. Nothing is being done, but you are getting the answer in a nutshell, and you're just reading it. You might be understanding it, you might not understand that thing. You're blindly copying it, especially in the case of students, because you mentioned the students, they might be blindly copying it in terms of their assignments and projects. Being a teacher, I have gone across such kind of papers, and I would suggest that, I won't tell you not to use it at all. That's not the kind of message that I would like to give you. You can use it, but understand that these kind of artificial intelligence spaces make you a little bit passive, especially the learners. You are supposed to, as students, as learners, you're still supposed to read a lot. You're supposed to do the practicals as it is. You're supposed to experiment with your hands. You're supposed to experiment with your mind. So, in terms of students, because I think even in the question, it is told that you get everything without any effort. So, when you are not putting the effort, the reward that you are getting, is it really benefiting you? Is it really benefiting you in terms of your knowledge, in terms of gaining knowledge? Is it benefiting you, or is it just making you passive? So this is a question that you have to ask yourself. I would not suggest these kinds of mediums as a part of learning processes, that's a personal viewpoint. You can agree to it or disagree. That's completely yours. Why I do not agree is because it makes us passive. Because I myself has used it, so I know at the level to which the level of passivity that is happening when I'm using such kind of platforms. Hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tejas.
Participants, would you like to ask any more questions? Okay, so I believe there are no more questions from the participant sides. And participants, the meanwhile, there's a feedback form which is shared in the chat. You can fill the form, okay, and you can share your feedback over there. Okay, so yes, you can check the thing. All right. Yes. Yeah, I've shared it. Okay, so as we come towards the end of the webinar, I'd like to thank Professor Krishna for taking your time. No, it was a wonderful session. Okay, so first you talked about uh, okay, so the need for learning outside the curriculum was the topic. You spoke about the importance of curriculum, and you also mentioned how not to neglect curriculum and move on. Okay, so that was quite essential because sometimes people or students have the tendency to go completely away from the curriculum so that they don't end up, they end up nowhere. Okay, so they don't tend to complete their degree or they don't tend to complete their certification, so on and so forth. So that was wonderful how to go beyond the curriculum using the curriculum. Okay, so that's the main idea. Okay, so we have to develop our skills based on what is our majors. So that was wonderful. And sharing it from your real life experience was actually helpful. Okay, so and I personally know that you are involved in doing a lot of certificate courses. I've witnessed that when I worked with you, and even now I'm aware of that. Okay, so that's wonderful because only a person who is involved in doing a lot of things can share it from their experience. It's not just about giving some form of advice just by taking some notes, but it's through experience. Okay, so thank you for all of it. And it was a wonderful session, and I hope that all the participants would agree with me. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.